right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to a very special edition of the Ref Room. I am Scott Smokin' Sills, being joined by my co-host, Mr. Brad Baumrock. And we are not here
happy
to
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, exactly. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. We are not here to rob the bank, but we got a very special show for you today. I hope you guys are loving these outfits. And, I'm not a mask guy, but I'm bringing this down because this is very cool. It's Movember. I got the mustache going. We got the outfits on. Look at these. These are referee sweaters. Are these bad or what? I mean, these are just awesome. We're going to talk about all this stuff today. We've got a special edition, as I mentioned. We have a ton of guests, so we are going to try to break the internet today with all these guests that we're having. It's a very special lineup, so I invite you guys to stick around. And we are going to get started. And I guess let's bring in our first guest, and that is the one and only Mr. Jack Raslawski, who is joining us. What's going on, Jack?
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the show, Scotty and Brad. Thanks for having me. It's truly an honor to be on again and to be part of this great show. So thank you.
Thank you. We are very happy you are here. And
Brad, Jack, we brought you more on. We brought you more on so that you can help us through all the guests, because in this Giving Back episode, we're going to go through several levels of disabled hockey. And me and Scott are not the experts. I know that you're close, and I know that everybody that's going to be on is at an expert level in their place. So just so everybody knows, thank you guys so much in advance. And this is going to be a trial and error here. So please stay with us. And I think my mustache looks a little better, Scott. I think,
it's like I've got the ascot on. I've got the full porn attire here ready to go. All I need is the doom music, and we're good. So, Jack, show your shirt off.
I got hockey is for everybody.
Yes, peace, love, and hockey. There you go. And Jack's got one of these sweaters too. So we're going to see if we get Jack into one of these sweaters in a few moments here. Are we ready to continue here, Brad? Can we bring in our next guest?
Absolutely. So the person that provided us this sweater runs a place called the Hockey Shop. His name is Eric Arrigo. He's a local Chicago guy.
Yep.
And he started this company. When did you start this exactly, Eric?
So I started Hockey Rush Shop in 2017, and first I just want to say thank you guys for having me on the show and wearing the merchandise too. You guys look super good in those ugly sweaters.
Well, if we had your hair, we'd look a lot better, Eric. I mean, you must have spent a lot of time getting ready for that. You got the Movember going, and you got the hair. If we had that, we'd be all good. But we love the stuff. Yeah. So we're going to give away some stuff today, everybody. So we're going to have some giveaways during the show, compliments of Eric. Eric's got a great hockey shop. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Eric, but he's the one that invented the reversible referee Linesman jersey, which is a very cool piece. And he designed all this stuff. He designed these. These would be so cool. Unfortunately, we don't have the Thanksgiving tournaments going on at Loyola and Stevenson right now, and all the Christmas tournaments. But these would be awesome to wear. Look at the bands. I mean, they are just totally decked out. I got to stand up and show the logo a little bit here. Catching my wire.
Eric, can you explain the reversible sweaters? Because that was your original idea for this shop, correct?
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of how I got started with Hockey Rush Shop. Is I just came up with the idea to create an easier to use referee sweater that was a little bit more affordable. And basically what I did is I created the first ever reversible sweater. So one side it's striped with the orange armbands, and then the other side is just normal linesman stripes. And on both sides it actually has a pre-installed piece of Velcro on your left chest. So every single year when you're getting those USA Hockey crests, you can just slap on a new piece of Velcro, and then it goes right onto the sweater without having to sew anything. Because I just know, like, every single time that I would get a new sweater before, you're like going through either rushing to get it to the tailor because you want to wear it, or you're trying to sew on Velcro yourself, and then you end up poking your finger or something unexpected happens. So I just really want to make something that'd be kind of fun, easy to use, take up a little less room in the bag. And yeah, that's sort of how my journey with Hockey Rush Shop began. And then now we've kind of expanded into a full line of referee products. One thing we like to do that I think is pretty unique in the refereeing community, and especially like the online equipment stores, is just like these fun type of items like the ugly sweater the neck gaiters, just things that kind of like bring some holiday cheer into officiating. Because I know sometimes officiating can be a little bit of a thankless job, and we all are working really hard trying to know the rules, and sometimes we get some negative feedback, we'll just say. But I just think doing some fun stuff, having cool products, having a little zebra reindeer on a referee sweater, it's just a really good way to bring the officiating community together.
How could anybody ever question a call if you had this jersey on? There is no way they could question a call. Am
because
I right?
they'd be laughing too hard.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But these
I
are
will
really,
say that
what do you guys?
these are very well
I've been
made,
buying
guys.
from Eric.
This is like a total professional jersey. The quality on this thing is amazing. You'd get years of use out of this, and it's a lot of fun. So these are really amazing. And we've got some other products that Eric's going to give away today. So we're going to give away the gaiters. We're going to give away, there's the gaiter. And by the way, these are really nice. I worked a game and didn't have a gaiter. You really need one of these if, like, you go to Michigan to work a game, because you can actually blow the whistle through this, and they're comfortable. Unlike having a mask on that was more or less like a chin wash. It was like just retain the sweat. It was pretty disgusting. We've also got some really nice, these are, would you call these toiletry bags, or are they whistle bags? Technically, what's your official term for these, Eric? So they know how to order
I
them.
just call them the accessory bag because I think they're pretty multi-purpose. Like, I actually use 2 of them myself. So I have one for my ref bag, this one right here, and inside, let's see what I got. I just have just random stuff like tape, laces, visor towel, little extra whistle.
Yep.
You can just fit all kinds of good stuff. And then if you look in the back pouch, you can fit, there's like this little zippered pouch. I don't know if you can see that very well, but you can go in there and kind of put all your in this little section. Thing organized, looks kind of cool, referee themed. And then I also have another one just for when I travel on the road, like toiletry stuff, shaving, showering, just little stuff like that.
Well,
so I'd say it's pretty multi-purpose.
So we're going to give away a couple of these goodies. Are we going to do this right now, Brad?
We're going to give away the gator first. And Eric, since you're sponsoring us with the Hockey Ref Shop, we giving you the honor to ask the first question.
Before you ask the question, I'm going to tell everybody how you guys can win, okay? In order to keep this fair, because we are on multiple streams. Now, we can see most of the comments usually, but we can't always see everything because if you didn't authorize it to come in through a group. So a few of you guys that have typed on Facebook, there should be a link above, and if you click that, then you get your picture on the screen and all that good stuff. But to make it fair for everybody, we're going to send you the Gmail way so that we have a documentation of everything that comes through. So first of all, it's going to be Brad, or actually it's going to be refroombrad at gmail.com. refroombrad@gmail.com. Okay, and we're going to take the first winner that comes through on that email address. So why don't you go ahead and do your question, Eric?
All right, so this question's courtesy of Brad, so we're going to make it a fun one, and I'm going to up the ante a little bit. I didn't tell these guys yet, but I decided I'm actually going to give away one of these ugly sweaters along with a black and a white neck gaiter. So I'm going to mail that out myself. You guys right from us.
Love it.
And
awesome.
That way we have some more giveaways too. We want to throw in some more questions along the way for a little smaller ones. But I want to do a big one in the spirit of giving back, especially this year. Like, we're going to have some more about some other types of hockey and ways to give back to the game later in the episode. But I just think this year our opportunities to really give back and get involved and stuff have kind of been limited. So I just want to do something fun. So, all right, here we go. So this question pertains to USA Hockey. And basically the USA Hockey rule book is comprised of 6 sections. What are those sections and what is the order of those sections? So 1 through 6. And you can send that to that email. And then there's a part 2 of the question, and you need to get both right in order to win the prize. And that is, what is the last rule in the rule book in the rule number? So
we should all know that one.
Send it to Brad's email. First one in gets a
little hint. We should all know that one.
Black and white striped neck gaiter.
And
hey, Scotty, isn't it 6:42 in golf where you have to use your foot That's what I thought the last rule was.
That's called a foot wedge.
Exactly.
All right, well, Eric, thank you so much. We're going to have to move on.
Yep. Appreciate it, Eric.
Unless you got something else.
Anything else to add before we go? Oh, you know what? Give them the address to the shop so everybody can get to you in case they want to get the sweater or they want to get any of the goodies. Sure. Eric has some great stuff. Eric?
Yeah, so the easiest way to, if you want to try something on or something like that, right now we're actually a home-operated business. So we don't have a setup where you can really like come in and visit. But the easiest way to get a hold of us, if you just go on our website, we installed a new.
Yeah, we're losing him a little bit.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're coming back in. He must be on the other Steve's internet service. The Steve Rickard internet service.
Yeah, it's been a little slow today. So wait, how much of that did you guys get?
None of it.
None of it.
Say it again. Here, just a hint, like on these jerseys, if you guys want to order the jerseys, I wear like a 48 in the CCM. This is a 2X. So I would say, you're between a 1X and a 2X if you're like a 48 to 50, if that helps. Brad, how many X's are on your jersey, may I ask?
Due to quarantine, there are 2. I have the other one. The first one that Eric did that was green and black with the red armbands, and that only had 1 X in it. I will let you know what back in the day, but
that
no,
must
this
have been
one
a
has
16-17 photo.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
We decided to go a little bigger with quarantine and Thanksgiving coming up, just in case you really want it.
All right.
Well.
All right. Again, Eric, thank you so much. Appreciate your participating with us in this. And, we wish you the best as always. We love the stuff you do, and we'll have you back on the show. And because we got a couple segments we want to do moving down the road, we'll talk to you about in the future.
All right. Absolutely. Yeah, thank you guys so much for everything you guys do too to promote officiating and kind of give back also through the show. So Eric, I just want to say thanks to all you guys for everything you do.
All right, that's Eric Arrigo, and the dog just jumped up and changed everything on us, so I'm sorry about that.
We already have the right answer, Scott.
Oh, we already have the correct answer? All right, let me bring Eric back in. Hang on. Let me put everybody back up here. Frankie decided to jump up here and do her thing, and I can't even do it, so I'm going to switch to something else.
There you go. That'll work out for now. Yeah. Well, So the winner is Mr. Eric Kousel because he's got hands faster than lightning. Apparently,
that's home cooking. That's home cooking.
I'm doing it off how it came in. Kevin Haller was right behind it, so I don't know what else to tell you. So the sections are the rink, the teams, the equipment, penalties, officials. I don't know. He's got the case book in there, but that's not actually right.
Oh, 1, he's disqualified.
2, 3, 4, 5. Case book. It's the rules. I'll give it to him. Eric, what do you think?
Well, the good news is because
and then rule
Kousel wins, as referee in chief, we'll be able to wear these jerseys anytime we want, or the sweaters. I'm sorry, the sweaters anytime we want, right?
Yeah, well, we'll find out. So there you go. Congratulations. I mean, I already got 5 people. And they're all right behind each other. So
that's awesome.
Sorry, guys. The first one came in, and I didn't expect a referee in chief to be the guy to answer it, but that's just how it goes.
Well, at least he knows the rules.
Thank you, Eric. Well,
thank goodness.
All right. Eric, thanks again for joining us. It's the Ref Shop. So if you go to Facebook and Ref Shop, you can find Eric's products there. So again, thanks, Eric. We got a busy show today. We're going to keep it rolling. We are going to start talking about ways to give back and some of the charity events and some of the special things that the officiating community and hockey put together and are involved in. Who's our next guest we're going to bring in now, Brad?
So our next guest is Mr. Steve Drews,
who
runs the special needs hockey in Chicago, Illinois. And I believe he does even more. Am I correct on that, Jack?
That is correct. Stephen Drews has been involved great amount of time, and I truly am thankful for Steve getting me involved. in all the different volunteer activities that we do. And then I can't be remiss in thanking Amy Lepeau, Melanie Freeman, Brad Rauschenberg, all those individuals for getting me involved for the last 15, 16 years in all the different, not only disabled hockey, but different functions within all the different disciplines. Excuse me, that's what I was thinking. Disciplines of hockey.
Well, Steve, welcome to the show.
Steve?
Well, thank
There
you.
you go.
Thank you for having me. It's a great pleasure to be on. I've watched the show a few times when I get a free opportunity, but you guys do a great job. Keep up the good work, especially during this COVID time. It gives us officials something to do and something to look forward to each week. So keep up the good work, boys, on that.
But for those of you who don't know Steve is the former referee in chief. Tell us all you're like Hall of Fame material there, Steve. So give us a little rundown on your background. How long you been doing this?
Well, I was never referee in chief, but I was president of Iowa.
President, there you go.
Yeah, and I, along with Jack and one of your future people on the show, Mike Savak, if he comes on, are all Hall of Famers. Mike has been elected to this year. I want to congratulate him, as well as
Congratulations.
Our Southern boy down there in Champaign. And then from an officiating standpoint, this will be my 38th year of officiating.
Wow.
Obviously, it's not officiating right now, but I'm more involved in the special hockey, which is a really, as Jack said, it's a really great opportunity to give back to the hockey community as well. And we have a lot of different events that we've done in the past, whether it be charity events or fundraising events and things like that. But obviously, this year with the lockdowns and things like that, we are unfortunately not playing any hockey, as well as nobody is, I guess, in Illinois. But we skate out of 5 different rinks. We skate out of Rockford. We skate out of Gurney Mills, which Jack runs. We skate out of Orland Park, and now Johnny's. We got kicked out of where the Blackhawks practice out of this year because of some scheduling issues. So we're skating out of Johnny's for this year. And then the home rink that I skate out of is Center Ice. We're well over 100 participants in our program.
Nice.
In different facilities and things like that. Obviously, the outlying ranks are a little bit less than the other numbers, and then our numbers are a little bit down because of, obviously, the kids with special needs are a little bit more conducive to having issues with immune issues and things like that. So we try to make sure that we have practice safe distancing, both on and off the ice, actually sanitizing the rinks and things like that over and above what the rinks are doing. So we've gone over and above what anybody else is kind of particularly doing. We've actually conducted some videos for our players. We're doing web videos for our players to partake in as well. So those that really can't partake on the ice, we're doing instructional videos, and different people are doing those. So that's kind of a fun thing to get back to. But it's really overall, like Jack said, Amy Lepeau developed the program quite a few years ago, and it's evolving and growing. And a lot of people, when they first come out, they're like, "Gee, I never heard about you." But we take kids from basically 7 years old on up to 50 years old. So we break them on their skills. And then last year, fortunately, we created a Team USA. The USA Hockey created a team for special hockey with kids from all over the United States. And one of the fortunate things that I got to do was to be the assistant coach for that team.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, that was
Steve,
a fun time.
What I've been fortunate enough to come out and help in these games, and I know that most of the officials don't know the players in those levels. They don't play with icing. They don't play with offsides.
Right.
They don't keep score, which is great. You see an opposing player score on a goalie, and the goalie comes out and gives him a big hug. It's really something to see as you're officiating. And then Steve coined this phrase with me. It's well, not with me, but he coined it. It takes an entire village in order to have one of these hockey games put on because there's so many players out there and so many volunteers. The officials are volunteers as well.
Yep.
Somebody's got an echo there.
Yeah.
So if somebody wants to give back, Steve, how can they volunteer to help you out from the official standpoint? Which, I got the great time of doing it. I've done it at Vernon Hills. I've done it at a couple other places for you. Me and Eric, who just won the question there, had the pleasure of coming down and doing it at the United Center with you guys, which was just absolutely fantastic. It was a whole day. And, we got to tie skates for the players because you can only have limited people behind the scenes at the United Center. So you get pulled in, and it's really something to see the love of the game in their eyes. And if anybody gets the opportunity, I would suggest to email Steve and get a hold of him and say, hey, I want to help out. Yeah. Steve, what's your email that people can get a hold of you? Let's get it out there. If people want to help you out, I want to get them in touch because it's really a fantastic thing. I really do enjoy it. The opportunities that you've given me to help out.
Well, you can email me at stevendrews@comcast.net. That's probably the quickest one that I'll get a hold of.
Yep.
If even people know the number out there, they can call me as well. But unfortunately, this year we're not playing any hockey games. So the officiating standpoint is going to be a little bit null. But we do a turkey tournament in Vernon Hills. We skate at the United Center. We actually have skated in the outdoor rink in Rosemont for the United Airlines pilots. They do a fundraiser for us, and that's a fun thing. So I know Jack has participated in that as well. Froze our fingers off on a couple nights on that one. But that's a fun event because they really do it up well for the players and the officials and everybody else. And then obviously with the national festivals and things like that, they're always looking for officials to go out and work those festivals and things like that. So it's really a fun event and an opportunity for the up-and-coming officials to give back a little bit, especially in those events, those national festival games. So I know April,
Brad,
we're supposed to go out.
Opportunity. There is another opportunity. Previous official Mike Riley out of Rockford actually created a cookbook from all his fire department days. He recently retired from the Rockford Fire Department. And Mike and a few of his colleagues created a cookbook, and a portion of that donation will go to Chicago Blackhawks Special Hockey. And there is the superstar behind Steven Drews.
There's Big Al right behind Steve.
Shake and bake.
Shake and bake.
Say hi, everybody. Hello.
Hey, buddy.
How you doing?
And there's the reason why I'm involved in all of this stuff. But
good reason.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a great kid and a lot of fun. So, I'll let everybody else get on. So, like I said, so please contact me if you have any questions, or even if you want to volunteer some time in a rink and help coach. We'd probably love to have you out there as well. It's fun time for all.
Well, thanks for coming on the show, Steve. We really appreciate it. We appreciate all you do for everybody, and I know you've been doing it for a long time. I've had the pleasure once to work with you. I got to work a Stevenson playoff game with you, so we finally got a game in and had a great time doing it. You're a special guy. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
That. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Take care.
All right.
Yeah. All right, so now we're going to move on to Mr. Rich Jankman. Is that correct, Jack?
Yeah, he's in I've got him in the green room here. Give me 1 second to assign him to a spot here. There we go. There he is. All right, Rich, welcome to the ref room.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
I recognize you because I've actually worked a couple of your games, I believe, over time.
I recognize you too. Thank you very much. And, one thing I do have to say is you guys don't get enough credit. The referees, if it weren't for you guys, we wouldn't have games. And I know you guys come out with us and volunteer a lot of your time, and we really appreciate everything you do for the game because you're a big part of it. You're a big asset. So thank you.
Thank you for that.
Hey, Rich, I just wanted to say congratulations. You were recently nominated into the Illinois Hockey Hall of Fame and all the great work that you do, not only for the Chicago Blackhawk Warrior program, but also the Hornets sled hockey program as well. So thank you
Yes.
and to your entire family. You guys are awesome.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate it. It's an honor that I never expected, and it's greatly appreciated and very, very humbling. It's joining the Hall of Fame. There's a lot of great people in there, and a lot of great people that aren't there yet that deserve to be there. But yeah, so it was a tremendous experience. Thanks, Jack.
Well, we want to talk a little bit about Wounded Warriors, and can you tell us a little bit how you guys got this started? And I've had some exciting times with you guys. I think at McFetrich we had some great games with the fire department and the police department, and just some great times. So why don't you tell us a little bit more about the organization and how you guys get money for this and what we can do to help in the future.
Well, what we do is in 2015, the USA Hockey disabled sector and the Chicago Blackhawks came. Well, they decided to put together a Warrior team. There's a USA Hockey Warrior division. The Warrior division is devised for military veterans who have a minimum disability of 10%. So in order to play, you have to have your VA papers stating that. But what we do is we started in 2015. We had 9 guys come out with the Chicago Blackhawk Warriors, and that's all where it started. We get some funding from the Chicago Blackhawk organization, the foundation, and everything else we do is fundraising. That's the main thing. All of our games are fundraising games. We don't charge the guys to play. A lot of these military vets that come back, they've got hardships, and we try to do as much as we can for them. So we don't charge them any team fees to play. So that's why fundraising and donations and anything we our fundraising games, we do raffles, we do silent auctions and things like that, and that's how we raise all of our funds to keep this program going.
Now, Jack, you've been assigning all these games, haven't you, for years as a volunteer? Yep. And tell us a little bit about what's involved with that and how people can get in on participating in some of these games.
Absolutely. If this was a normal year, the Warrior program has about between a dozen and 16 games in a season. And since 2015, I can count on one hand how many officials we actually had to pay. Everybody has donated their time and their efforts in these games, with exception of a few games. So my hat comes off to all the officials like yourself, Scott, and Brad, and Druzy, and others that have volunteered and went out. And it's truly a humbling experience because you're on the ice with these veterans who risk their lives for us to have our safety. And these guys are awesome. They come up to you, pat you on the back, and say, hey, thanks for coming out and volunteering your time and whatnot. So when you see a game posted on the web from me, it's usually going to be a volunteer game. And it's either sled hockey, warrior hockey, blind hockey, special hockey. So that's what I assign. And, we ask officials, we don't mandate, but we ask officials to donate their services.
Yeah, and you know what, Jack? Something with just not only getting the thank you from the players and stuff, they almost always come up to you. There's never any hard feelings afterwards. I'd say every Warrior game I've done, 99.9%, it's always a great time. They always all come by, and then it's kind of cool because some of the teams have pins, some of them have things, and they'll give them to you after the game. And it's one of those things that I wish I would have remembered. I have one. I think that's from an Indiana team or Michigan team. I can't remember who it was, to be honest with you.
Probably Michigan Warriors.
Yeah, I think. And they I would have put it on my lapel here today. I didn't think of it. The Warriors were the ones that taught me how the flag is on your arm, and one means that you're leaving, and the other one means you're coming home. I never knew that until I was out on the ice, and one of them had it on their arm, and I'm like, well, what's the difference between the way the flag is? And they sat down and explained the entire thing. And then we went and had a little adult beverage afterwards as well. And we got to talk about his experiences with hockey before and then after and how much he enjoyed it. And it's quite the thing, because then you end up having 10 people around you, and then they start talking about officiating, which is even more interesting. So it's a lot of fun. And a good group of people also volunteer their time. Rich, thank you so much, as always. I mean, I have a good time doing it, and it's really good hockey, too. I'll put that out there.
You know, these guys, it means the world to them. You know, most of it is used for, it's therapy for them. And that they'll come up to you and tell you that this is therapy. You know, a lot of these guys have physical injuries. The majority of them are the psychological, the traumatic brain injury, the PTSD. And one thing that's very, very prevalent in the veteran community that a lot of civilians don't know is that 22 veterans a day take their life by suicide.
Oh my gosh.
And that's the main brunt of why we have warrior hockey, is the camaraderie they get back from it, being with their own again. It means the world to them. And it's a tough thing to get through. We've lost a couple guys last year, not the Blackhawks, but other teams in the area. It's a tough time to get through. And you know, the more we can get these guys out on the ice, use hockey for rehabilitation, the better it is for all of us.
Well, it's a great cause, and we appreciate what you do for the guys. And anytime we can help the referee community, of course, Jack's in charge of that. But you know, we're here for you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you. Like I said, you know, you guys have done so much for us already, and we can't thank you enough for stepping up to the plate. Appreciate it.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Kathy. Thank Kathy, Danielle, your son. They're all involved in the program, either coaching, volunteering, and all that. So, you know, thanks for everything you guys do.
Thank you. Will do.
Thank you. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
You do the same. Thanks. Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, we are continuing our special edition of Hockey Gives Back right here from the Ref Room. And Brad, where are we going next?
You're going on to Mike.
Okay, Mike it is. And we welcome in Mike. Give me 1 second here to get him up. And there he is. Mike, welcome to the Ref Room.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
It's great. Glad to have you here.
You're having way too much fun today.
We do.
We're trying.
We got to come up with something to do here during the season, because normally we'd all be out working tournaments right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd all. Yeah. Well, Mike is the coordinator for something that I'm very, very interested in. And I did get to see you, Mike. You were in West Dundee a couple years ago, correct?
Oh, yep. Yeah, the festival.
I was lucky enough to grab you, and I must have talked to you for over an hour and a half. And you know, I really appreciate it. And I don't think enough people understand the blind hockey. So I think you should discuss some of the finer details of it. You know, the puck and some of that stuff, because when I walked in, I was just amazed. So, you know, and I had so many questions. I won't lie. I was so excited.
Well, and it's not just a bunch of referees.
Well,
just three blind ones, right?
Okay, 3 blind mice. Well, you know, first of all, I want to thank you for bringing it up, Brad, because we did host the Disabled Hockey Festival up in West Dundee at the Leaf Center there 2 years ago, and it was the single largest event indoor for USA Hockey. We've always hosted the event at one time for all the disciplines, and that year we decided to try to make it bigger by having 8 days, 2 full weeks of competition for those with a disability. And the success really came from, as you all know, you can't play hockey if you don't have ice and if you don't have referees. And the work that Jack and Brad Roethlisberger, the show they put on, I'll never forget, as I was organizing that event, you know, one of the challenges was, how do we do over 100 sled teams, you know, where you've got 30, 35 special needs teams for starting blind hockey. And Jack and Brad just said, hey, we got it covered. And I had trust in them, and they pulled it off. We didn't have one single game that got modified because we had all the refs there. We had all the ice time. And it's kudos to you guys out there in the community. I want to say thank you. because without all of you, I know I'm here today representing blind hockey. I'm just one individual, and we don't have any success if it's not for the hundreds of volunteers that we have in our community that makes this happen. And it's just overwhelming from our local affiliate, obviously, the AHI, the Amateur Hockey Association of Illinois, the great leadership there from John Dunn, now Kevin Bolger, Mike Barrett. What we've done with the Chicago Blackhawks is very unique. A lot of our other affiliates don't have that luxury. So Annie Kamens and Spencer Montgomery have been huge. Obviously, all the referees and the partners there. Without all you guys, this just doesn't happen. And blind hockey came to us here in Chicago, and it started. It's an idea. You get a couple of folks. I think you all know Jim Smith. You've heard of JJ O'Connor. These guys are thinking always. They're 3 years ahead of what we're doing today, and they saw that what was going on in the country. Canada developed blind hockey. They've been playing it in the 90s, the 2000s, and they started with a tuna can and put some pebbles and rocks in it to make a noise because these guys were so passionate about hockey. They played competitive. They were losing their vision. They just didn't want to stop playing. So they went out on the pond and emphasize, just like we used to play pond hockey. You make up the rules as you go along. So the vision of people like, yeah, well, the people that make the rules as we go along. But JJ, and Jim and Amy LaPoe that was mentioned earlier, they've been kind of the founders of disabled hockey here in Chicagoland. They had this vision, and they just needed people to make it happen. And just like Rich said, they said, we're bringing warrior hockey to Chicago. And warrior hockey was very popular on the East Coast in Washington because most of the veterans would go there. And they created the platform. They gave an opportunity, found some great coaches, and they started. Well, same concept. I think that happened in 2012-13. And sure enough, it was 2014. We decided to try this tri-hockey event for those that are blind or visually impaired at All Seasons Ice Rink. And we had over 30 people came out. And there was no equipment. Just got them on the ice, had them get exposed to ice skating and so forth. And we thought, okay, this is kind of cool. And then a few months later, those three, the tripod, they kept thinking, and they're like, we're going to make this happen with the Blackhawks. And they were the first NHL team to support an organization like this. And we created the Chicago Blackhawks Blind Hockey Organization in 2014. It was that fall. And I'll never forget getting the phone call as they were talking about it. They said, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're all great. And oh, by the way, we want you to lead it. So that I did hesitate because it was kind of thinking like, okay, I know hockey, but you're asking me to coach people who are visually impaired and blind. How do you do that? Yeah. And to be honest with you, I think it's like we all do. You get asked for help. You don't know what you're doing. You just figure it out as you go along. And that's what we do with the Chicago Blackhawks. The neat thing is the program has grown throughout the country. We got, over 200 players playing blind hockey. Those are blind and visually impaired. And the NHL teams have started to adapt. So we've had initially the Pittsburgh Penguins came behind us. We have a team down with the St. Louis Blues, Minnesota Wild. We're working with Colorado Avalanche. We're trying to get something down in Dallas Stars. It's just going. And that's what's kind of cool because without that support, you can't get the word out. So you're talking about challenges. You guys are refs. So just as we learned, there is a hockey puck that's a little different. You're all familiar with your NHL puck, 3 inches in diameter, 1 inch thick. It weighs about 5.5, 6 ounces. Well, our blind puck is much bigger. So you're talking about 5.5 inches in diameter. We're talking about, almost 2 inches thick. And the weight is almost 1/2 pound. And our challenge is our players who are legally blind, especially in competition hockey, we classify them as B1, B2, and B3. A B1 player, you are completely blind. You have no light perception. A B2, in simple terms, you have about 5% or less, and a B3 of about 10% or less. A B4, you're still legally blind, but for competitive hockey, you have to be a B1, B2, B3. So our challenge was, in the help of the Canadians, was how do you slow the game down? Make the puck bigger, make it heavier, and the bigger it helps those with less vision who has enough vision to see it. And then you add the whole complexity of, well, those with almost no vision, you add a sort of sound mechanism. And what we've done is we've taken these ball bearings that are smaller than a marble. There's 6 of them, and we put them inside the hockey puck. Now, these hockey pucks have to be hand welded, and that's one of the big challenges for us because they're costly. They cost about $30 each to make. It's 2 circular discs in a metal band, and they weld it all together, paint it black. We want to keep the contrast of black against white. Our players, because they have limited vision, colors are important. If you've ever seen any of our games, we'll wear blue or black, and the other team is going to wear yellow. White's not the best color for vision impairment hockey. The contrast of black against the white helps us for the puck, but like red's a bad color. They have trouble picking up the color red. So there's a lot of similarities. We do have some challenges in the game because this works well at the competitive level, but those starting out that have lower vision or no vision, one of the challenges is when this puck stops moving, it goes quiet and no one can hear it. So they can't locate the puck. So we've been working, Canada started the programs. We're looking here is how can we make this puck continuously making a noise? So that way, when it stops moving, we can locate it. And we've tried some white noise, and we've got some universities out in Colorado and down in St. Louis working on some prototypes. We're trying to actually develop maybe a rubber puck that we can cut the donut out and put a vibrating device inside it so it's always vibrating on the ice, and maybe we can learn it. But the white noise, you think, cool, but it doesn't always work.
How about a pinging sound, almost like you would have in a black box? I mean, could you have anything like that where you get a ping out of that thing?
Yeah.
An electronic?
We're trying. Yeah, but here's all your challenges. Got to turn it on, turn it off. You have to protect the sound. Like the first plastic prototypes, they were kind of working, but when the international level, when these pucks hit off of a pipe, plastic, it just disintegrates and there's parts flying everywhere. So you think of a rubber puck and the durability that this can withstand. This puck, after one game, 2 games max, we have to replace it. And if you look at this here for your viewers, I mean, this is a puck that's been going on for a couple of practices. Metal against metal, metal against the wood boards, it deforms. The other interesting thing for the refs is, and I didn't realize it until our second season within the U.S. blind hockey team, one of our players, and traditionally, usually when they start the game, you have the B3 who has more vision. They usually play forwards. The B2 with less would play defense. And your goalies were always a B1, completely blind. So go figure. Wow. You got this completely blind person listening only for a puck, knowing a shot's going to come towards them, and they don't know when it's going to hit them, and only feel it next later. So a lot of our challenges on this was the sound making. So what I learned on Team USA, one of our players, Kevin Brown, he is a B1. He's a defenseman. He uses 100% of his hearing. He has no advantage of any vision whatsoever, and he is amazing. He knows where he's on the ice. He knows when he's at center ice. He knows when he's crossing into the offensive zone. He knows where the goalie is. But he struggles with a brand new puck because these ball bearings in here, they can slide around and make less noise, or a person can put it on the back of their stick and carry it. It won't make any more noise. The more damaged it gets, it's not good for the good players to pass or shoot because it's all the deformities, but it makes a little bit more noise because it hits all these imperfections. So for him, he likes about the second or third period when this puck has a little bit more imperfection because he can hear it quicker, but he doesn't. But one of the challenges that I always get asked about from the refs is, the difference in roles. And once again, puck is bigger, so that way we can slow the game down and so forth, and it gives you guys a chance to keep up with us. But, obviously there's no checking in our league. And one of the challenges is, well, think about it. You got visually impaired athletes hearing a puck, like anyone is first with the puck. They're going all out, and they're going to collide. So what's a collision versus a check? And that's where it's a challenge for our referees, is to really be in good position to know when the guy with a little bit more vision does drop his shoulder to give you that little disadvantage and knock you off your skates. It's going to be a checking call. But some of the other things we've done with the game, obviously we slowed it down. The hockey net is a foot shorter. It's regulation width, but it's only 3 feet high because, once again, our goalie is blind, completely blind. And our better athletes who are B3s, they do have the ability to pick the corners. They can lift this puck up in the corner, and we have to give some competition because when our goalie's down in the butterfly, he's got his glove hand, he's got his blocker, but he has to be moving a lot and worrying about wraparounds because our first competitions we did, we got burned in the first period because they would start a wraparound stop and reverse. Our goalie would hear it. He'd slide left to right. Well, he didn't realize they went back to his left side and they were able to bury the puck, and we had to make some adjustments for that. Another couple rule differences also, it's kind of safety, but also levels the playing field, is when we're bringing the puck into the offensive zone, you have to make one pass before you're allowed to shoot on the goalie. And the purpose of that is twofold. Is, once again, as I talked to you earlier, when this puck has the ball bearings in the back of its back north of hockey stick, I can't sneak it in quietly. So if I had a breakaway, I can get all the way in front of the goalie and make the shot. He would not even know you were there. So to level set that, we make it one pass, and our referees carry an electronic whistle. So they use the normal whistle to signal the games. But what they'll do is pick that up. They'll hold that for a good 5 seconds. And what happens is when it's a good, clean pass from offensive to offense, they can dump it and be the first one to pick it up. But it has to at least make it to the other offensive player. And then they sound this whistle for 5 seconds. It tells everyone it's a good pass. The goalie knows there's a shot coming, and now we're able to continue. Now, nothing happens. We can have turnovers and so forth in the offensive zone. This whistle will never get sound again until the puck clears the offensive zone, and then when it comes back in again. So you could have that thing where a turnover happens, and then they get repossession of the puck, and they're shooting on you. So we're constantly communicating. So those with a little bit more vision are giving cues so our goalie knows whether we have it or we don't have it. And that way he can always be in a ready position knowing that a shot can be coming at any given time. There are also a couple safety rules that we do. One is if a shot is taken and it hits the goalie in the head, for safety reasons, that goalie never knew that shot was coming. So we'll blow the whistle immediately if it was a hard, direct shot, just to make sure they're okay. And the second one is if the puck, usually this will happen when it hits the goalie, it falls into the crease. And if it's not moving anymore, we'll blow the whistle immediately because it's a big disadvantage. That goalie doesn't know that puck is even there. And you've got 2 or 3 other players right in front. They have enough vision to see the black dot. They're charging hard with sticks. That goalie's going to get hurt. So for the most part, it's the same game, same rules, played a little different. And if you haven't had an opportunity, do a Google search for U.S. blind hockey, some YouTube videos. You can watch Canada and USA playing. Brad Roethlisberger has been on all of our games as one of our chief refs and helping to train other referees in the game of blind hockey. You really get a feel for these athletes and their ability. And what we're doing is, we're working on the goals to grow this game. We're working on the goals to make this puck more audible. But at the international level, we want to get to the Paralympics. And there is a potential getting there in 2026. We're competing. There's now 6 teams we have around the globe. We've got Canada, US. We're working with Russia. We've got UK, Finland, and Sweden all having hockey programs. They don't have the caliber players yet, but we're going in the right direction, and we're hoping that at the earliest, maybe 2026, we can put Team USA out there and represent our country and see what happens.
That's awesome.
I've been talking too much.
No.
I'm fascinated by this. I mean,
because I knew you went through this almost not exactly word for word, but you definitely got it down pat. Like after I talked to you, I walked away and my wife was there and she's like, "You look amazed." I'm like, I honestly don't have any questions. I was like,
yeah.
He took the words out of my mouth. I didn't have to. So he's got it, So I commend you. What can officials do? How can we give back? Is there a way that we can help more than other just going through Jack? Or, there are people that would probably help.
It's still word of mouth. The hockey officials around our country, they're at the hockey rinks all the time, and they're talking to people and other coaches and just talking about our disabled programs in general, that we have these outlets for those with special needs like autism and Down syndrome. We have a program for our warriors who represented our country, and they're looking for that outlet and belong. Blind hockey is really interesting. It's a challenge for us for coaching because, we've got athletes who've played competitive hockey, had vision, and somewhere between the ages of 10 and 25, they lost their vision. It's hereditary. It just happens. So they have a love for the game. They know the game. They can pretty much step onto the ice. But then there's this whole population of people that heard about hockey. They were born blind. And our range is from 5 years old up to 50, different skill levels. And even with the Chicago Blackhawks, we put 40 people in the Chicago area through our program since 2014. We've got 20 active members. With COVID, it makes it kind of a challenge, and we want to protect our players. But, those individuals all come with a different vision disability. You can have 2 that have the exact diagnosis, but what they see and what they can't see are totally different. I have one player on my team, Jillian. She's completely blind in one eye. In the other eye, she has about 3% vision. So if you took a funnel, block out your eye, take a funnel and look through that little bit of funnel and think about trying to play hockey with that puck moving and how you can locate it. Playing a game of darts, you're going to dominate the bar because you can focus. But, most of our good players we see that can play at the competitor, they have more of the peripheral vision and they have the blind spots within the central, or they have distance vision and so forth.
That's
so
interesting.
I think the refs, what they do is just keeping their eyes and ears, telling the story. What we've done in 2014 to get 40 people on the ice. We started this program with like 20 around the country. We're over 200. A lot of people say, well, I don't think this is for me. Hey, just come out and try it. Our website, ChicagoBlackhawksBlindHockey.com.
There we go.
There's a contact page. You hear something, refer someone. We picked up 3 brand new players this year. All 3 are two ladies, one guy. They're all between the ages of 10 and 12, never played hockey before. We got them suited up, and they're out there loving it. They don't miss a practice. They're wearing the Blackhawks jersey, the excitement in their eyes and what it's all about. And they only found out because someone told them about the program. They were talking about this blind hockey program. You should check it out. They went on the website. The mom was nervous. Remember telling me we got her daughter all suited up as a 12-year-old, and her grandfather's a big Blackhawk fan. He comes to every practice, and it's just the coolest thing. So, but you guys have been great to us, and you've been there when we asked for refs, and we do scrimmage games with the Warriors and some of the special needs. And without all of you guys doing what you do, without ice and without refs, there's no hockey. And thank you and what you're doing to help us.
Well, Jack is the guy that puts all this stuff together. So, that is the man right there.
He's the man.
Like Jersey had indicated, Mike Savak also has been nominated into the Illinois Hockey Hall of Fame this year.
Congratulations.
So a huge thank you to everything you do, Mike. I know you ran the Disabled Festival not only in Chicago, but you also ran the different classics that are all over the United States. You and Mike Durkin, you guys have been awesome. So congratulations on your nomination this year, and we look forward to continuing to work with you.
Well, thanks, Jack. And once again, it's just one person, but it takes hundreds of volunteers to make it happen. So we've been very fortunate here in Chicago. Hockey community, a lot of love. So thank you.
Well, we appreciate you coming on, and we wish you a happy.
Jack.
Yeah. Everybody's been good. They all got their Movembers going. So
that's it. Yeah.
All right.
More hockey givebacks right there. All right. Well, Mike, thank you so much for being a part of this, and we wish you a happy Thanksgiving and continued success with your program. And reach out if you need anything.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Okay.
Well,
Happy
happy Turkey Day, Mr. Sills. I would bring Brad Roethlisberger in here now because Jack can cover sled hockey at the same time. And we can talk to Brad at the same time as well, because he has the best ways to get more involved in, I would say, more the national level. And, real quick, though, Jack, before we get going, we do have another giveaway for everybody. So this is a sled question. We didn't want to just do giving back to the traditional. So we're going to give away one of these referee bags. And the question is out of the sled rule book. So you may have to go look for it.
All right, before you give the question, let's just give the rules on how you can win. So for those of you that want to try to win the prize, you're going to email refroombrad@gmail.com. refroombrad@gmail.com. And we're going to take the first person that comes through with the correct answer, because the reason we have to do it this way, we can't just do it in the comments, is because we don't get to see all the comments sometimes because of privacy issues. So they'll come in from Twitch, Facebook, Periscope, YouTube, and probably some other places as well. So that's the reason for that. So again, it's going to be refroombrad@gmail.com. Go ahead, Brad.
All right,
Jack's
so here's the question.
Oh, Jack's got it. I'm sorry.
So there are pushers that are part of sled hockey for those athletes that cannot propel themselves. Pushers are restricted in what end zone, and what part of that end zone are they restricted in? So that is the question. Brad will please email Brad and you will be the recipient of that great prize that Hockey Ref Shop is offering.
Courtesy of Eric Arrigo and Ref Shop on Facebook, who has some great stuff. So
Yep.
We'll give you a couple
Absolutely.
seconds to answer that question, and we'll come back to Brad with the answer as soon as he has one. Good luck, everybody. And Brad, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Pleasure to have you here. We're doing a giveaway show here in terms of hockey gives back to the community and what some of the things are that the referees are involved in hockey. And, of course, we have Jack here, who is the master of giving back and has always been that way. So we're going to let Brad or Jack take it from here.
So I'm going to, first of all, say thank you to everything Brad's been doing. Brad has been the referee-in-chief for USA Hockey since its inception for disabled discipline. Brad has truly been awesome with not only teaching referees. I've seen it firsthand out in San Jose. There was a situation with a player. Brad actually stepped on the ice in his street shoes and had to address the situation because the on-ice referees were scared out of their minds. So Brad is a hands-on referee-in-chief. I truly enjoyed working with him, and I'll let Brad talk about the different refereeing aspects for disabled hockey.
Well, thanks, Jack. And I actually forgot about that situation out in San Jose. But thanks for the tackle bringing that back up. I've been very fortunate to get involved with the disabled section and officiating after many years of stand-up hockey. It's wonderful working with not only the athletes, but fellow officials that share that same enthusiasm, folks like Jack, others definitely in the Chicago area that I've had an opportunity to work with, and all across the U.S. So for those that aren't aware, there's actually 6 different what are called disabled disciplines within USA Hockey. One of the most popular is the sled hockey, the question that we just had, which I'm assuming guests on the show are not eligible to answer. Is that correct?
That would be accurate.
That would be accurate, unfortunately.
I thought I'd try. That's a nice bag that you're giving away. But anyhow, so we've got the sled hockey. We have the special hockey, which Jack is very involved in, coaching a team up in the Northern Illinois area. We have the blind, visually impaired, deaf, hard of hearing, standing amputee, and then also the warrior hockey, which is for our military men and women, giving them a chance to play the sport. So typically the big events for USA Hockey are the National Disabled Festival, which is a 2-weekend event that hosts all of the various disciplines. Sled hockey is held on one weekend because that's such a large event, and then all the other disabled disciplines are held on the following weekend. We also have the NHL Sled Hockey Classic, which is typically held in the fall of the year. Actually, typically this past weekend is when it's held. Unfortunately, due to COVID this year, we had to cancel that event. We also have a blind hockey summit, which is usually held in fall. Team USA and Coach Mike will typically host the Canadian blind hockey team for a special event. We have the Warrior Classic, which is typically in the fall. Well, like I said, unfortunately this year, due to the pandemic, many of those events have been canceled, but we are keeping our fingers crossed that the Disabled Festival will still go on this spring in Pittsburgh.
Well, definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, all these places closing down. I mean, we talk about the hockey in general just losing out on the opportunity to do what everybody loves. But when we look at all these people that have challenges, and this is what they have to look forward to, and they're being shut down as well. It makes it really tough. I mean, my heart goes out to them. I know how much they want to be out there and participating, and it's been a tough season that way.
It really has, and especially for these athletes. If you've ever had a chance to work any of the disciplines, you understand the passion that they bring out onto the ice, more so than I think I've ever seen with what I'll say traditional stand-up hockey. And Jack has heard this many a times from me, but it's an opportunity for the athletes to, what I say, get that sense of normalcy, whatever normalcy might be. But especially for the younger kids, where they get to go to school the next day and say, hey, I had a hockey game this weekend, I had hockey practice or something like that. Yeah. It's just such a thrill for the kids. So hopefully we can get everybody back out on the ice very soon.
We're certainly hoping so.
I hope so. I miss it. It's killing me.
Yeah, so, this is our busiest month of the year, so normally everybody would be going crazy. We would have the CCM, World Invite. Now it's the Thanksgiving tournaments. I mean, we'd have the Loyola tournament going, Stevenson, all the other local tournaments going. I mean, this is like crazy weekends right now we're all missing out on. And
so to give a little... Oh, go ahead, Brad. Sorry.
I was just going to say, I'm thinking the only one that may enjoy this is schedulers, because now is a crazy time and they're not getting phone calls and texts at 2:00 in the morning. But outside of that, everybody else is not liking it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, I agree. All right, so just a little update. Number one, we do have a winner, which, Jack, I'll let you get to that in a minute. You can announce that. You should have his name and you can explain the answer. Number two is, though, I'd like to, in the season of giving, I just got a text message here from Mr. Cousel, who just received a thank you from Kevin Haller. Mr. Cousel donated his winning prize over to Kevin Haller as the season of giving, even though he got the right answer. Eric watches all the time. He's a friend of ours, of course, our referee in chief. Very good with the rules and is faster than any mankind person that I've ever seen with fingers.
Got the bionic thumbs.
He said that he's going to send that over to Mr. Haller instead. So, Kev, congratulations. Yep. Kev does a bunch with the sled hockey with the Hornets up north, and he's been doing it for 7 or 8 years now, Jack? Is that right, I think?
He started coaching with Jim Smith with the Hornets, and then we got him involved refereeing through the development program, and Kevin also works a lot of the sled games that Brad and I assigned. So great pick. Eric Cousel, thank you.
That's very nice.
Just awesome.
Yeah, thanks,
Eric. That's how Eric is. Eric's a good guy.
We also have two winners. First of all, for this season of giving, Brad, I'm going to get you a bag.
You're too kind, Jack. Thank you.
I will purchase it, and it'll be shipped in the mail here shortly for you. And then the other winner, Michael Novak, was the winner. He correctly answered the question. It is in the defensive zone, and it's like home plate from the top of the circles to the face-off dots and then down to the goal line. So well done, Michael. Thanks for paying attention, or thanks for just going in the rule book. So nice. It's awesome stuff.
All right. Well, we've got some winners, and everybody's a winner today because it's a give back week here at the Ref Room. So we are having some fun with everybody and kind of going through some of the opportunities that are out there. I know we've covered several. There's several others. I mean, we didn't get to autism. I know I got to work the tournament that they had not too long ago at Mount Prospect, and I've worked the privilege of working some of the hearing impaired games. And oh my gosh, some of those players are so good. I mean, they played high level hockey. If you've not been to one of the hearing impaired games, game on, game as usual. They know when to stop. They know what to do. It's pretty cool. They do have like strobes around the rink for when the whistle blows in order to help them determine that the whistle is blown. But these guys are so good. They don't even need it. I mean, a lot of them played college hockey and beyond and European professional hockey. I mean, some of these guys are just beast hockey players. And I know that it was Mr. Tianenbeck that started the Hearing Impaired Foundation, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct, gentlemen? Are you guys familiar with the hearing impaired as much? But Lex was a goalie when I was growing up. I played for the Minor Hawks, and Lex was like a year or two older, and that was Mr. Tianenbeck's son, and he was a goalie for the Minor Hawks. Great guy, and he was hearing impaired, played AAA hockey, and was an awesome guy. So that's my...
Wasn't Stan Mikita one of the original executive sponsors for hearing impaired?
I'm sure he was. I mean,
Yes,
you know...
he was, Jack.
Absolutely. But
Yep.
I know the foundation, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the last time I was there was Tianenbeck. So I was like, I know him. Grew up with him. But all
well,
right,
now
so,
you got to have Jack cover sled hockey, because that's one of the big ones. That they have. I think probably the most participants, if I am correct, right, guys?
I'll let Brad answer. Okay. So at the Disabled Festival that was held here in Chicago, we had roughly 130 games, sled games, that were played. They had the most teams from all over the country, every level, from the Paralympians all the way down to the beginners with the pushers and whatnot. And, you know, as Brad had mentioned earlier, they're considered disabled off the ice. But as soon as they step on that ice, they're athletes. They're athletes that will compete to the end of that buzzer. And then at the very end, you know, everybody gives themselves a handshake and all that. I know the pandemic right now, you can't, but it is truly great sportsmanship, great competition. And if you ever seen a shot that Brody Royboy pulls off, it is incredible. It's the hardest shot I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, those guys can rip the puck. I know I see them at McFetrich quite a bit, practicing before the men's league games, and I don't know how they do it. I mean, I'm just amazed. They're in such good condition to be able to get up and down the ice, and the competitiveness. It's awesome to see.
Yeah, and it's wonderful to see the continued amount of growth. I haven't seen the numbers for this year, but within USA Hockey, the largest amount of growth for all the programs has actually been in the sled hockey program. You know, the numbers are just busting at the seams. And even despite where we're at right now this year with the pandemic, we're still seeing new programs pop up all throughout the country, which is great to see.
Well, you know, it's amazing because hockey is such a small community that you can be in the locker room over at Fifth Third, and the disabled team, we've had the national team come in there, and you'll be getting dressed, and, you know, you'd go, oh, you know, Jim Smith is the president of USA Hockey. Yeah, and he's getting dressed right across from you, and he's going to be going out there for the game. So if you have something you want to ask, you want to find out something, the people are right there. They're accessible to you. That's what a great part of the hockey community. And we have so many talented people that give back. And it's just, it's something that I've loved about hockey for my entire life.
And from the USA Hockey standpoint, I just can't thank you guys enough for, you know, having this program and really shedding light on not just officiating, but officiating for the disabled section. You know, the Chicagoland area is a great area because they have all of these disciplines. In fact, it's really the only place in the country that has the deaf, hard of hearing with the academy right down there in the Chicagoland area. So as an official, boy, if you're looking to get exposed to this right down the Chicago area, it's the best place to be able to do that. I know that Jack does a lot of the scheduling for the sled and these other special events. And like you said, you know, Jim Smith is right down there as well, too. And you can get a hold of him and you can talk to him all day long about the disabled discipline.
For sure.
A lot of resources in here in the area. And, you know, kudos again to you, Brad, for helping us develop our program, providing us the resources and the opportunities to work these different disciplines to hone our skills, because I'll tell you, working one sled game a year just does not hone your skills. You know, Scotty, you asked me to share a story a men's league story, so I'm going to share a sled hockey story.
All right, so let me put the promo up before you do that.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. I got to put the promo up for everybody because we are planning on doing something special. So let's go to the promo. Real hockey stories of the men's league as told by you, the referees. All right, so what we actually want to do is we want to come back and we want to do a show. Probably, I think we'll do this around Christmas time, if I'm not mistaken. I got to get everybody back here. Sorry about that, guys.
We're going to need some more.
I got to bring everybody back. Well, we're all going to be out of order here, but let me see what I can do here about getting everybody back on the. I shouldn't have put the promo up. I guess I screwed that all up. Sorry, guys.
We're getting there. There we go.
Yeah, there we. Oh no, it just took everybody out. Let me try Scott, that again.
We're going to have the bloopers highlight when.
Yeah, there we go. We're all in different
January
spots.
2nd. That doesn't matter where we're at.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to have this show probably around Christmas time. That'll be our next. We'll have a little fun with that, and we're going to bring some more people on like we did today where we do a large show, and we invite you guys to send in some stories that you'd like to tell because, no matter how good you are, we all end up in the men's league at some point, so we all go to the same spot. So there's some good stories to be told, and we'll have some fun with that. So, Jack, take it away with your special edition.
So I was working an adult sled game, not in the Chicagoland area. I was in a different state. I'm not going to use the cities that were involved.
Anonymous.
But normally, they're pretty cordial games. This was the higher Paralympian teams. And within the first 2 minutes, we had a T-bone. We had a high stick. We had, a bunch of infractions. And I'm working with a guy from that city, and, he's just as dumbfounded as I. Why is this game so aggressive? Middle of second period, Jim Smith and JJ are watching the game from the center ice area. And then all of a sudden, these two players come together, and the mitts come off, and now they're fighting. I've never broken up a sled fight ever. So now I'm thinking, all right, what do I do? How do I grab these athletes so I don't get punched and get hit with those spikes on the sticks and all that? So everything gets separated. The partner and I decide, all right, this was the aggressor. He's going to go have the extra penalties. We had to issue. And, of course, I've never issued a game misconduct in a sled game, too. So now there's paperwork involved in there as well. So come to find out, there is bad blood between these two cities that were playing. Needless to say, I go talk to Jim Smith, and I said, what was going on? Oh, yeah, we forgot to tell you that there's two players that really don't like each other. Well, we found that out really quick in the middle of the game. So that's my men's league story for sled hockey.
There you go. Well, guys, think about your stories and submit those, and we're going to have some fun with that as well. And, just because it's sled hockey, it's still hockey. It doesn't mean it won't get crazy at some point. So,
Scott,
yeah.
So we're going to send those stories over to me, refroombrad@gmail.com, because we kind of this one was thrown at me. I didn't get an approval on it. I mean, we got one good one, and we had another one that I think somebody made up. So I don't know, but.
We'll have to reach out to Marty Tong. Marty is the master of the men's league, so he's been working men's league for years. We'll have to get some of these guys to come on and tell some stories. I know we got some good storytellers out there.
No, it's all good. Thank you guys, Brad. Thank you so much for everything that you do.
Brad, appreciate it.
One thing with sled hockey that I'd like to point out, if you're a new official working it and nobody tells you, when the handshake line is going on, please kneel down to the players' level, shake their hands, show them the respect that they deserve. They're athletes just like you. And it's one thing that we can do. That's a helpful hint that I didn't know the first time. And I was lucky enough. The first person that I worked with told me about that. And it was a good moment. So imagine being in the stands and you're standing over a player on a sled. So just think about it that way. And, give them the respect they deserve. And we all deserve it. We're all out there at every level. So just keep that in mind if you're ever working sled games.
All right. Anybody else got anything else that they want to add before we kind of start to take things down here a little bit? We ran a little over today, but
that's okay.
For a good cause. Jack, you got
I just
anything
want
else?
to wish everybody a very safe, blissful Thanksgiving. Thank you for everything that you guys do. Both, you, Scotty, Brad, and the other Brad, and all the officials that are listening to this program. Thanks for everything. We are truly blessed with everything that we have. So,
well, Jack, thank you for putting this together today along with Brad. You guys did an outstanding job, and the guests, thank you all for joining us. Brad, appreciate your coming on the show. And, thank you to Eric from Ref Shop for providing some giveaway gifts to kind of make everybody a little more festive today with these wild sweaters that we've got on and just having some fun out here. So, support our local shops, and that's one way to do it. So let's see, we got another comment here. Thanks.
And then
put this up. Thanks, Jack and Brad, for everything that you do for disabled hockey. There you go.
The other person that was very involved in putting everybody together and the guests, Melanie, what's her last name, Jack? I'm so
Freeman.
terrible with names.
Melanie
Freeman. I called her right after Jack sent me her contact information, and she was just absolutely fantastic. We would have had her on, but in the spirit of giving, everybody wanted to give back and talk a little bit about hockey today. So hopefully, if we do another giving episode, she'll want to come in and share her side, because she knows everybody and kind of is doing some a different role, and it'd be nice to hear from some other people. So just want to give her a big thank you, and she was awesome to work with. And so thanks to everybody, and thanks for everybody that came on, because without it wouldn't have been me and Scott having 7 people on for the first time ever. And amazingly, it worked.
we got through it. All right. Well, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Hope to see you guys on the ice soon. Stay safe. Enjoy if you're with your family or whatever you're doing. It's going to be a little different this year for a lot of people, the way you celebrate, but stay safe. And, we love you guys, and we'll see you out on the ice soon. If not, we'll see you here next Wednesday on the Ref Room. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, smash that like button, and all that good stuff. And we will catch you next week. On behalf of my man, Brad Baumrock, Jack Raslawski, Brad Rosenberger, thank you all for joining us and all of our other guests. It's the Ref Room, everybody. We'll see you next week at noon.